Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Purple Haze Podcast. I am your lovely host, Isaac. So, before we get to the video, make sure you guys hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So, the preseason, 23 preseason has come through a wrap as the Vikings finished off with 0-3 after losing on Saturday against the Arizona Cardinals. Final score 18-17. The game was, they lost. I'm not that mad, though. I am more excited than I am disappointed because, holy crap, there was a lot of good things that happened during that game. And you know how I said last time I recapped the Titans and the Vikings? I was wrong about that. There's little to no depth. There is absolutely a lot of depth minus the O-line. We'll get to that. But right now, let's go over some stats. Cardinals held the ball 6 minutes longer than the Vikings did. Vikings had 249 total yards, 144 passing yards, 105 total rushing yards, 2 sacks, 2 of 12 on their third down conversions. That's unacceptable. The Cardinals, they had 297 total yards, 158 passing yards, 139 rushing yards, 6 sacks, and 4 of 15 on their third down conversions. So, I mean, it basically looked like the Cardinals dominated the Vikings. It really wasn't. So let's get off with the good stuff. My gosh, Jaren Hall absolutely was incredible against the Arizona Cardinals. And the Vikings absolutely did so. They started him the entire game. All 4 quarters he got to play. And kudos to Kevin O'Connell for allowing him to see who he is. And Jaren Hall was 16 of 27, 178 yards, a touchdown, 1 interception. He also scrambled the ball for 6 times for 21 yards and had a 199 total yards of himself. So Jaren Hall was balling. He was the reason why the Vikings ever had a chance. In the first, because he looked comfortable. He looked like he played absolutely with confidence with his arms and his legs. And absolutely outstanding. Let me count the ways of how he was outstanding. That corner pass, I believe he looked absolutely confident. But to Nick Muse, the pass up the middle to Nick Muse was absolutely a thing of beauty. He absolutely did that with precision. And also with precision, also another play which was incomplete. A pass to Tristan Jackson right from the corner. A cornerback draped all over him. Threw it right just enough he threw it high enough, just enough for Tristan Jackson to catch it. It was incomplete, but with those corner passes, it was a thing of beauty. And then also, he had a very good pass. I believe it was in the second half where he threaded the needle perfectly to Jacob Copeland. Absolute thing of beauty right there. Sure, he had a boneheaded interception, which basically ultimately costed them the preseason, but it's a rookie mistake. It happens. I'm not going to eat his lunch for that. It's not his fault. But he could have done a lot better with the O-line. If they did better, he would have had a lot more yards than what he already had. But anyways, so with the second team, he should be quarterback 2. He should be the backup to Kirk Cousins by default. Because what we've seen with Nick Mullins on the second team, comparing that to Jaren Hall, is a big difference. It's night and day at this point. I feel like Jaren Hall can be that guy who can at least keep this team afloat. I feel like he absolutely did a very good job. I am impressed. As for Dwayne McBride, he absolutely ran hard, had 8 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. He absolutely bulldozed. He absolutely showed why he was one of the running backs to get drafted and one of the best at UAB. So Dwayne McBride absolutely had a good day. Blake Prohl was the leading receiver today, had five catches for 45 yards. Absolutely amazing ability right there. Nick Muse, again, had an absolute amazing day. He only had one catch, but he had a catch for 16 yards. I don't know, maybe Nick Muse could basically, because the good thing about this, the tight end depth is absolutely insane. Nick Muse, he could possibly be floating around there. I mean, in the 53-man roster, he's absolutely making a statement. He's making a great job. And also Ben Sims had a catch for 15 yards, had an absolute amazing juke past one of the defenders, absolutely amazing. Had an absolute nice cut on him. And Abram Smith, he didn't do too bad himself. Had 5 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown pass from Jaren Hall. He absolutely did outstanding as well. As the running game, the running game overall was really not bad. And then Tristan Jackson had himself a good day. Had a catch for 19 yards. He almost had another catch, but it basically was called out of bounds. But he showed athleticism on that play. Made it happen, which Jaren Hall connected. He made an effort to at least get it. So Tristan Jackson, I feel like he should absolutely get some snaps. He doesn't necessarily have to start if he has to, but he absolutely deserves some snaps and some starts on the season. And now for defense. The defense was absolutely outstanding. For most of the part, yes, they gave up 297. It's okay, but absolutely great, especially in the first half. So basically, the Vikings only held the Cardinals to the following: fumble, field goal, punt, missed field goal, punt. They held the Cardinals. They only allowed 1 of 8 on their third down conversions to the Arizona Cardinals in the first half. The defense dominated the first half. And what Brian Flores can do with the second team, damn, it's going to be a scary defense. And now as the defense, I believe Jay Ward absolutely had himself a game. Had 4 tackles, had a sack, had a fumble. This dude was just all over the place, absolutely making great plays. And that sack that he had for the Cardinals' first possession, he absolutely came bowling, rushing through that play. He absolutely smacked the ball out of that hand. He absolutely had a spicy strip sack to give the Vikings an easy field position. Jay Ward was outstanding on that defense. He absolutely stood out. Probably the first game he's ever did, but kudos to Jay Ward. He was amazing. Also amazing, Benton Whitley was all over the place. He was getting after the quarterback consistently on a daily basis. I could have swore he had more pressures, but ESPN brought. He had an amazing day as well as Jay Ward did. And TJ Smith had himself a nice tackle. Had a couple of TFLs. He absolutely looked amazing. Sheldon Day was disruptive. He had a pass deflection at the line of scrimmage. And he was also getting after the quarterback as well as the rest of them. Luigi Villain had himself some nice tackles, some nice TFLs on there. And Ross Blacklock had himself an amazing sack. And especially Ryan Wright, who is continuing to show why he's the punt god. He absolutely showed amazing. He had 49.5 yards average per punt. The takeaway from this defense is it's absolutely amazing. They're consistently getting after the quarterback. And not only just in the first half, but in the second half as well. They absolutely made a nice stop on 3rd and 1. They absolutely stuffed the run. They knew it was a run. They saw it coming. Usually with the Ed Donatel defense, we would give up that. But But the defense for the Vikings absolutely held home to give the Vikings offense another chance to win that game. And they absolutely did amazing, I thought. As far as the bad, the O-line was not any better. I mean, the first possession from the Vikings offense was good. And then as the game went on, it got worse and worse and worse. The O-line gave up 6 sacks. That is unacceptable. To be giving to the Cardinals defense like that. The O-line was the majority reason why the Vikings could not sustain a drive at all. Jaren Hall was under pressure for most of that time. And there is no depth behind that. That is unacceptable. So it's just really like you can have no injuries. If you sign Dalton Reisner and Jason Peters, you cannot afford an injury really on the offensive side. As far as some of the others, Thayer Thomas had a very scary muffed punt basically back at there, but luckily it got recovered by the Vikings. Just absolutely atrocious. Andrew Booth Jr., I mean, I hate to do this to the young kid, but he did, I mean, to be fair, he did not have any bad plays but he got beat he absolutely still got beat on a few plays, but he did not really have much pop-out plays either, so I'm very disappointed in Andrew Booth Jr. I really thought he was going to bounce back as much as you guys thought, but Andrew Booth Jr., I mean, we're just going to have to cut him, basically. CJ Colden, I mean, he was worse than Andrew Booth Jr., let's just call it what it is, especially on one play, basically, to cut the deficit to 8. He helped the Cardinals go up by 9-17. He absolutely blew that play. David Blau, I mean, the pressure was there from Benton Whitley, who put the pressure on him, on David Blau, the Cardinals quarterback. And David Blau got rid of it, but CJ Colden could have made a play, but he absolutely got mossed on that play. He got beat pretty badly on that one. He absolutely should have made a play on that one, but that resulted in a touchdown. And CJ Colden gave up a 4th and 1 DPI. He gave up a 4th and 1 DPI in the 4th quarter to sustain the drives, which resulted in a touchdown from the Cardinals. So CJ Colden was almost the reason why they got a couple touchdowns on us. That's pretty bad. So Greg Joseph, I mean, he missed a field goal. Probably could have been as much as excruciating as it is. And it was supposed to get the game up for grabs, but then it kind of slipped through from Greg Joseph. So the Vikings did have several opportunities. I get that, and they melted it away, but overall, it was absolutely a thing to look forward to instead of just slump down and say we did a bad job. This was basically a good game, I thought, by the Vikings. As for my MVP, it was either between Jaren Hall or Jay Ward, but I'm going to give the MVP award to Jaren Hall. He absolutely fought his ass off on that field. He absolutely played amazing, I thought. So I want him as QB2, but to give this team a chance. What he will do with the first, I mean, it absolutely could be. Because what I see, Jaren Hall has more command on the second team than Nick Mullins does. It's just that simple. So thank you guys. All right, so basically that'll be it for the preseason. As the regular season is going to start, I am so excited to see what the regular season brings for us. It is going to be a fun one, folks. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and smash that like button if you haven't already. Skol.